here today, and luckily working very steadily. And then the music kind of came at a great time. I did Descendants, and that kind of helped kind of nudge me forward. And I met some amazing people on the Descendants films, including Rock Mafia, who produced and did basically everything with me. The song and the video, they're such an amazing team. And so that came out of Descendants. And now here we are.
Here we are. I know, 3 years old, that is young to already clearly have those passions come to life. Was that something that like ran in your family, or did they just notice she's got this?
Definitely. Actually, both my parents are very artistic. My dad has acted a lot in his time. My mom went to school for it. They both went to school for it. My aunt plays for the Vancouver Symphony. It's just like, it was kind of bound to be one art form or another amongst me and my siblings. So my older sister Hannah, she started dance first, and I obviously wanted to do absolutely everything that she did. So I followed in her footsteps. And actually initially I think the teachers were like, I don't think she has a future in this, which is so funny because dance ended up being like my whole life. And I'm lucky to say I was pretty successful in it, and it's like one of my greatest passions in life. But it's just funny looking back. People just, you just gotta show them.
You do. And I'm sure it's obviously so fun to dance to other people's music, but now that you're able to do that to your own must feel certainly surreal. What inspired the song Suffer?
Well, I think I speak for everyone, or most people, when I talk about like a breakup that just kind of like rocks you to your core. And for me, that happened like, gosh, was it maybe even almost 5, probably 4 years ago. I had this breakup that just was the worst. And if you haven't had a breakup before, it can kind of feel like you're grieving a lost person. So definitely those emotions trickled in, but I think the core message of the song is like, I don't need you, I have myself. This is your loss, and my gain. And I think that's really important to remember when you're going through a breakup. Like, I am constantly working on myself, and just the relationship with yourself is the most important one to foster. So that is like my big message in the song that I hope people take away is, if they don't see how wonderful and spectacular and worthy you are, then it is their loss.
I think this is such a great, message to take away. If someone doesn't choose you, right? Like, then what's sort of
let's
the point?
Ourselves again.
Yeah. Completely. And also
again.
During the pandemic, I think a lot of people really focused on themselves and reevaluated like what they want out of someone. Do they even want to be in a relationship? Do they just want to focus on themselves? So I feel like that's a good time.
I think for a lot of people it went like one way or the other. Like, relationships either ended or they like thrived. People are getting married, there's a lot of babies, or people are like getting back to themselves, which is also just, I think, so important. Like so important. So yeah.
You're seeing it all. How would you describe your sound as a singer?
I like to think of it as like, my goal is like pop R&B, like a little bit of R&B in there. But I have, musical influences like Dua Lipa, and love Selena Gomez, and she's worked with Rock Mafia a lot. So when I first met with them, I was like, I really love her sound and how it developed over the years and became more mature. And I just pop R&B, like a little bit of soul in there. I love pop. I love pop. I love listening to pop, bedroom pop. We'll see where it goes, but just keeping it fun. And I think music is a great outlet for everyone, especially during these times. So I hope this helps people in some cathartic way.
I love that. I think that's so great. And also just throughout these last couple of years, I think people have really appreciated, honestly, watching TV also more than ever. These shows have made so many people feel less alone. And I know for so many fans, watching you on Charmed really has made them just have something to be excited about during a time where there was so, and still is in some ways, so much uncertainty and darkness.
Definitely.
Right? When you originally heard, Sarah, that, you know, the CW is going to be revamping Charmed after so many years, what was your initial reaction? I know it's been a few seasons, but do you remember what that feeling was like?
No, I remember seeing it and being like, oh, that's actually crazy and so cool, because that's such an iconic series. Like, even if you didn't watch Charmed, most people know what Charmed is. And then I heard that they were going to reboot it with 3 women of color, and I was like, that's even more awesome. So to get to be a part of that is really amazing. And I think, like you were saying, it's a really hard time for everyone. People are going through growing pains. You spend a lot of time with yourself. And so to get to watch TV and be in this like magical world, at least for me, was like pretty great. You just kind of get to forget about it for a little while and suspend your disbelief. And I think that part of it is one of the reasons why fans connect with it, hopefully.
Certainly. I mean, and like you said, that diversity, we also saw obviously LGBT representation, which was another way that this reboot was just so much more current to how we're living, obviously, today. And when it comes to your role of playing Maggie, how would you describe your evolution as the actress behind this character over the last 3 seasons? How has the character evolved?
Well, I think I've grown along with Maggie. Like, at the beginning of the series, if you're familiar with it, Maggie was a party girl. She was a sorority sister, which isn't a bad thing, but she was really, she was a bit younger. You know, she is the youngest sister, and she was still like having fun and discovering herself. And then as the seasons progress, it really becomes like a self-love story for her. Last season she was calling it the year of me, which I think is amazing and a great message for the audience to like bring it back to yourself. Just like, you know, we were talking about with the song. Yeah, it's just like a universal message that I think is so important. Like, foster your relationship with yourself and everything else will blossom. And that's been like Maggie's storyline thus far. We're heading into season 4, and I know that the writers and showrunners have some really cool things up their sleeves. So yeah, I'm excited to see what else happens for her.
Right. We did see in the news just a couple of weeks ago that season 4 has casted Lucy Barrett, new lead, right, following Madeline's exit. So what can fans expect with this new addition?
I think they can expect like something just totally different. I mean, a lot will obviously, it's such a difficult thing to approach, but I think the writers have done like a really great job sort of handling it with grace and as much like just delicately as possible. But she's such a fun character, and I'm very excited. I love her already. I love Lucy already. I think she's going to do an amazing job. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see, you know, change is always scary, but change is great. So
change is good.
I agree. Yeah.
Change shows the evolution, and people are commenting in the comments that Maggie is their favorite character. So I'm really curious to know, besides not having witch powers, or maybe you do in real life, what would you say are the main differences and similarities between you and Maggie?
Well, I've always said I think Maggie and I have a lot of similarities. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing like this more exaggerated version of myself.
Okay.
I think she is like, you know, we both, one of the storylines for her last season was her struggle with anxiety and panic attacks. And that for me was like something I super connected to. And I think that's really important when you play a character. You have to understand them. You know, it's you. So you have to have a through line. And for me, that was like what kept my heart connected. We're also super outgoing, but also at times a little bit introverted. I think I'm a little more introverted than Maggie. She's pretty out there. But yeah, I think just like loving sister is another thing that's huge. I have 3 other sisters whom I love very, very much. And so that's like the easy part, is playing a sister, a loving sister. And that, yeah, that's, yeah. we have awesome. A lot of similarities.
Yeah, it seems like it. And it's so great that you are so open just about anxiety and dealing with panic attacks. I know for someone like myself, before COVID, I really wasn't that much of an anxious person. And throughout the height of being quarantined, I experienced panic attacks for the first time. And I felt so out of control.
So sorry. It's, I had a similar situation. And it's really, truly scary. And one of the only things that has helped me is knowing that other people deal with it all the time. You're not alone. And there is help out there. So if anyone's watching who's struggling, whoever it is, it doesn't have to be a parent, doesn't have to be a friend. It can be any figure in your life that you trust. Talk to them. That's just so important. Help is out there. Good people are out there. People want to help.
I agree, but you said the key point that you are not alone, which I think is great. When you look back, Sarah, just all of the moments that have transpired so far during your time on the show, what stands out to you as your favorite moments to date?
Ooh, good question. Well, I love the magic side of things. So anytime we get to do like a magic sequence or a spell, I remember in episode 3 of season 1, it was a Halloween episode, and I did a glamour spell on myself and the house and everything. And that was like my Cinderella moment where, you know, clock strikes midnight and I turn back into my normal self. And that was really fun. And then I had like a dance storyline last season, which was so fun. And I got to work with a choreographer, Louise, that I love. And I worked with her on Descendants. So that was really cool. Having her back on a job with me was amazing. And it was fun. And what else? All of the sorority stuff was so fun. We went back to Kappa last year, dressed up as pirates. It was a whole thing. The great thing about the show is we get to do so many different things because it's a magic show. I'm like always entertained.
Right. It's never a dull moment for
never
sure.
A dull moment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fans obviously love being able to see your dynamic with Nick both on camera and off. What's something we'd be surprised to learn about him?
I just think he's great. There's no real surprise. He seems like a great guy on camera. He's a great guy off camera as well. He's a sweetheart. He's German. He speaks fluent German. That's something
that's impressive.
Like fluent German. So that's something that people might be surprised about.
That is a fun fact. We love that. And we have to know, because Halloween is around the corner, Sarah. Are you big into this holiday? Like, what's on tap for you this year, since obviously Maggie has witch powers?
I don't know. I just know I want to do something fun, because I feel like we've all been kind of holed up for so long. I'm like, why not go all out? So I usually say that, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it this year, and then I forget, and I do like a last minute costume, something from my closet. But maybe I really will.
What's like your favorite costume? What's the best thing you've dressed up as over the years?
Ooh, oh my gosh. Well, when I was little, I used to go all out. My parents would like face paint me and everything. I think I have like a picture of me in a zebra costume with the full head and like the full face makeup. That's pretty great. I did toddlers and tiaras one year. I thought that was really fun. I had like a ring pop as my soother. That was fun too.
That's funny.
But yeah, I got to think of something creative this year.
This is good. These are good things. I just want to remind the fans who are watching, if you hit that question mark widget at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you can submit your questions for Sarah, and we're going to start taking them any minute. But something else that's so fun about you, Sarah, and your career is that in 2016, you played the role of J-Lo's daughter on Shades of Blue, which I love. J-Lo's a queen. What is something, that you took away from working with her?
I would say first and foremost, her work ethic is like, it's just as amazing as everyone says it is. She's so inspiring, works so hard. She's got like a million things on the go at once, but like gives her all to every single thing. So that for me, I was like, I'm tired, but I can still do this. I'm not that tired. She works so hard, and I think that has a key factor in her success.
Love that. Such an inspiration. We're going to start putting these fan questions up on the screen. So this user here wants to know, what is your favorite thing to do just in general, and why?
Reading. for sure. My favorite thing to do in my downtime is reading. I think it's because it's like, it's just an escape from the real world, and I get to create a world in my own head. So it's good for the imagination and it exercises the brain, and I just love it. I love a good
What book are you reading right now?
I am reading Sally Rooney's new book, Beautiful World, Where Are You? She did like Normal People and Conversations with Friends, and she's so good. She's so talented. And Song of Achilles is another one I just read that everyone should read. It's so good.
You go, you guys. We've got some recommendations here. This next question from Daniela wants to know, Sarah, would you want a reunion? I think she means with the cast from the previous seasons, maybe before the revamp. Would you want that crossover?
Oh, yeah, if they were open to it, for sure. I'm not sure that they're, interested, but if they ever were, that would be awesome.
I know. I like that idea.
Yeah, right? For sure.
It's all about the reunions, I feel like, these days.
Definitely.
With our favorite shows. It's coming back. This user here wants to know, who is the best person to work with on Charmed?
Oh my gosh. I mean, everyone is so fun to work with. I get a kick out of Rupert. He's really funny. He plays Harry. He's just like, he's so funny without trying to be funny. So is always entertaining. Jordan Donica, who's my love interest this season, is also amazing and a fantastic singer. So we're always singing and dancing and goofing around. He's really fun too.
Always fun to have someone like that around. Ways to be rotten to the core. Quite the username here. Wow. Wants to know, what was the inspiration for the Suffer music video? Oh,
that's a great question. So one of my closest friends actually directed it. His name is Jerome Yu. He is incredibly talented. So keep an eye out for him. He's gonna be doing amazing things. He came to me with the sort of, what do you call it? Like a draft of what he was envisioning. And it was kind of that we played with colors and contrasting colors, so blue and red. And one was the girl, me, the woman's world, and one was the man's world, and kind of like him getting brought into my world and sucked in. And then there's some playing with the mirror, so that I think kind of reflects the whole getting trapped in her world. And I think for me, that made me feel like powerful, like across the board during the video. I was like, yes, this is my world and you're living in it.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of inspiration going on, but for me, that was the main thing.
Is an album coming?
I really hope so. I think, like, I'm so busy with Charmed, but who's to say? I would love to work on one. I love writing and I love working with Rock Mafia, and I think it's in the cards at some point.
We're going to manifest that here.
Putting
it out the energy. Yes. All right. This next question here. What is the best advice that you can give to someone who's trying to be more environmentally conscious?
Ooh, that is such a good question.
Good question. Yeah.
I would encourage you to eat plant-based as much as you can. That is such a good way to support the environment, and to really eliminate plastic use is another huge thing. When I go to the grocery store, I try to always bring my reusable produce bags, my reusable grocery bags. I try to limit the things I buy that are just in plastic. So cardboard is a little bit better. And if you want to take it a step further, bring mason jars and fill your, what do you call it? Bulk mason jars. There's so many little things that you can do that help, but plant-based and plastic reduction is a good place to start.
Those are great tips. There's also this water bottle on Amazon.
Ooh.
And sometimes I think it's hard for people to make the shift, but once you find something that you like, you don't want to really use plastic much more again. And there are these bottles that tell you how much you should be drinking by every hour.
That is so great. And I need the reminder because drinking water is so important, but I always forget.
Right?
That's a fun way to do it. And
you got to check it out. This next question here from Bella. She wants to know, Sarah, what do you say would help when having an anxiety attack?
Yeah, that's a tough one. They're really hard. I think it's important to have a great support system for, if you can, like during sometimes, you know, obviously you can't plan a panic attack or an anxiety attack, so you don't know, but having someone that you can call during it and after, I feel like after is also difficult for me, at least. Just the fear and the feelings that are kind of there residually. It's important to be able to talk it out. And also breathing is a huge thing. It sounds like, I know everyone says that, but it literally will slow you down. It does slow you down. So for me, I'm really panicking. Super deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Seems simple, but very effective.
Definitely. And something I've also found too is that if I write sort of down what I'm actually anxious about and I see it in front of me, it sort of feels like I have a little more control, you know?
Totally.
Yes. This next question from Laura here wants to know, is there any advice or tips that you can give on trying to become an actress?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, keeping it simple, work hard and have fun. Like, if you work hard, if it's something you're passionate about, and you're also having fun, like that, I think that's a pretty good recipe for success. It has been for me. So yeah.
I think that's great. And it's like when you want something so much, I feel like you just figure it out eventually, right? Like even
totally
if it takes time, you find the
way.
way.
Yeah, exactly. It can take time, but if you love it, yeah, it'll develop over time.
Agreed. We're going to take a couple of more here. This user, Sarah, wants to know, what can you say about Maggie's growth in the new upcoming season of the show?
I would say more self-discovery. I'm hoping for some more power like upgrades, maybe seeing some new powers and everything. I don't know too much about the upcoming season, which is both exciting and I'm also just like, I want to know. But yeah, I think self-love and growth is a huge thing, and also reconnecting with her sister Mel, because obviously they lost Macy, and that's a huge loss. So yeah, they're kind of back to where they were in the very beginning, which is really sad, but also I'm hoping that there's a lot of growth between the two of them.
Definitely. Before we get to the question on the screen, I see a lot going through the comments. Descendants 4, is that happening?
Yeah, I suppose it is. You know, I actually had no idea. I saw an article. I think they're developing 2 new films. I don't think I'm a part of that, but I'm really excited for whoever is, because those films like really just, they're like such huge parts of my life. So whoever gets to step in and be like the new generation of Descendants, I wish them all the best. It's an amazing journey.
I know fans aren't going to like this answer because they want you to be in it, but how like grateful and sweet are you? I think it'll be cool though too to see that. Couple more. Sure. Someone said, you seem like such a confident, spontaneous person. What quote really inspires you?
What quote? Oh, gosh, putting me on the spot. Well, I mean, I guess I live by, if it's meant to happen, it will happen. That's something that really, I'm not sure if that's like a quote by someone or just something that people say, but that's a mantra that I always repeat to myself, which can actually give you confidence in a way, because, you know, or I guess the one that I use the most is, what's meant for you will not pass you by.
And I say that too all the time.
Yeah,
that's one
right?
of my mottos.
Yeah, it's like always, if what's meant for you will not pass you by, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, this, that, the other. That is like something that really helps me when I'm, you know, always.
Yep, my best girlfriend and I, we say that all the time. It's just, I think it's so true.
Powerful. Yeah,
it is.
Right? It's
great. Last but not least, here from the fans, Kenzie Rosenmore wants to know, if you could remake any iconic movie or TV show, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, there are so many that I love. I mean, I feel like I would love to do The Office, but I don't know if I'm like funny enough for that. Like, they are hilarious. And they also have already done a reboot of The Office, but that's like my favorite show of all time. I would just love to be in a Marvel movie or a Marvel show. So whether that's a remake or something new, like, yeah, I'm like major manifesting that. So
that would be awesome. So cool. Before you go, Sarah, what's next? What can people expect right now? Have you started filming season 4? What can we expect?
No, we haven't started yet. We start very soon though. So that'll keep me busy for quite a while. I have a couple other projects that I haven't been able to announce yet. One I just finished working on, that I'm so proud of and so excited to share with people, and another that I can't say anything about yet either. But there are a few things coming, so I'm excited to share.
It's a good cliffhanger. We'll be waiting. We all love watching you.
Thank you.
Congrats again on Suffer. So
Thank
good.
you so much.
Check it out. And thanks
Thank
for
you
being
so
here.
Much. Thank
all
you.
Right.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys.
Bye now. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for watching Tomorrow by Today with us on this Friday afternoon. This conversation with Sarah Jeffery will be saved on our feeds in case you missed some of it and want to go back and rewatch. We'll be back here next week with a whole new guest, so make sure to follow along. My name is Sydney Sadek. Take care, everybody. Bye now.